Hello, welcome to the live stream.
We have a crazy cat behind us, so you guys will have to excuse. Do you see him? Do you see him?
He's on a nip bender.
Yeah, he just got some catnip, so
He's on a catnip bender.
he might make some noises. He's probably gonna roll around a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably gonna roll around a little bit.
He might act naughty, in which case we'll have to take him upstairs. But guys, welcome to the Friday Bean. We've had again another big surge of subscribers. So if
welcome.
Hello, if it's your first time here, let us know in the chat. Today we don't have a topic. Normally these Friday Bean episodes we have a topic and then we answer your guys' questions, but we've noticed over the last few weeks, because we've had so many new subscribers jump on, we have not been able to get through as many questions at the end as we would like to, because there's always so many. So we figured that this would be a good opportunity to just do a completely open form Q&A. For those who are new here, I'm Starla, that's Mark. And we also go live on Thursdays, me and Pam Duthie over on the eRank channel. Mark and I are both managers over at erank.com. So if you have questions that are specifically related to eRank and Etsy SEO and you're not able to answer here during the Friday Bean, you're more than welcome to subscribe over there and hang out with us on Thursdays. And you can watch replays as well. We had a good Q&A over there yesterday.
Yes, we did.
So a couple little quick things before we get started. I have all kinds of goodies linked down below if it is your first time here. I'm going to do my best to answer as many questions as I possibly can today, so feel free to go ahead and get some of those into the chat. However, we are going to start doing something new this episode. If we notice that the exact same question is being submitted over and over and over again by different people, we will likely just tell you that we've already covered it. That way, the majority of people who are here watching don't have to hear the same answer over and over. You can always go back and watch the replay.
Yes.
All of our Friday Bean episodes are replayable, and this is episode this is like episode 143 or something. So there's tons of them.
Tons and tons and tons.
Yeah. And if you don't like the long form video content, I've also got short videos on my channel as well that range from like 15 minutes to 5 minutes. So feel free to go watch those. And there's tons of freebies linked down below. My Science of Etsy Success Workshop is a really great one for all of our newbies. If you don't know how Etsy SEO works, if you don't know how Etsy's algorithm works, this is going to cover the 7 factors that we know contribute to Etsy search and ranking.
And keep an eye out because we have a new bonus coming out soon.
We do. It's supposed to come out Monday, but there are some delays with one of the things that I'm adding to that bonus. It's free, but it might not launch on Monday. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, you guys will be the first to know. I will post it all over my social medias. Feel free to follow me on all those. It's just Handmade Alphas. I'm on everything. It doesn't, I don't think that there are any social media platforms that I'm not on, but I would recommend Instagram. That's the one that I'm most active on. So just Handmade Alphas.
Any of the minor social media platforms. We're not on any of the minor ones. There's like 5 or 6 little pop-ups. We're not on any of those, but
we're on the big ones.
Yes. What's Tuesday? It's the second or third day in the week based on how you look at it.
What's Tuesday's video? We're going to be, this upcoming Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a video revealing some data that data nobody else in the world has access to. So this upcoming Tuesday's video, I've got some exclusive Etsy consumer data for you that you guys are going to be able to use and apply to your own businesses. So that's going to be at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, that'll be launching. And hopefully I can launch the cool thing that I'm working on at the same time.
She said, oh my God.
What?
Now you know the vibe of these streams. Serious, but not too serious.
All right.
You guys are good to go ahead and get questions in. Again, we're not covering any topics this week, so.
Are the eRank Lives available for replay? Yeah.
Most of the time, yes. Every once in a while, there's little hiccups because it's different how we do it, but yes.
Yes,
they're
over on the eRank channel. And just so you guys know, live videos now on YouTube have their own tab. So there will be one called like videos, on the channel page, and then there's one that says live. You got to click on the live one to bring up all the live.
Is it like that for subscribers too? Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, they've divided it all out.
If you're subscribed, which click the button down below. If you're not, it'll just show up in your main feed when we're live. Usually if somebody that you follow is streaming, that's like first and foremost on your like new and trending feed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
All right. Hello, and thanks for doing these. I've learned a lot from you with Etsy now allowing public responses to all reviews, even 5-star reviews. Would you recommend responding to customer reviews?
Absolutely, because it locks them in. That
Absolutely.
means if you respond to a 5-star review and that person decides to be a butthead and come back and leave a bad review, they can't do that. You lock that review in. And it's nice to do. I would respond in a way that you want the public to see, because that person isn't going to get notified. They're not going to be like, oh, somebody responded to my review, unless they went to your storefront and actually looked. I would respond to all reviews in a way that is advertising your good service to new shoppers who are entering your store.
It shut up. There we go. I would love some advice on building a release schedule / flow.
Down below, 2023 marketing calendars. I would recommend grabbing those. They're free. Because what those are going to do is they're going to give you my recommended time frames. If you're doing seasonal launches, it's going to give you ideas on when to host sales, best times to start working on your collections. There are little tips each month from me to kind of optimize every month, holidays that you might not be aware of. So I highly recommend grabbing those because that's going to really help you to plan out those launches. Now, that's the product launch part. If you're talking more about the marketing portion of it, I also recommend getting the 30-day free Instagram challenge kit, because that can help you to kind of structure out how you're going to market those collection launches on Instagram, which seems to be the very best place right now. For most brands, if you don't already have a strong presence on other social media platforms, Instagram is the easiest to grow on, just because Instagram Reels have such great reach right now. So Instagram challenge kit paired with the marketing calendars, that's going to help you to launch those products, stay on track, and you're going to be able to market those collections. Realistically, I would recommend trying to do a seasonal launch. So once every 4 months would be ideal, or 4 launches a year, I mean. So once a season. But you can do more than that. You can do less than that. You don't have to do product launches and collection launches if you don't want to, though it's more marketable that way. It's totally up to you.
I'd love advice on what digital products to create for 2023. That's kind of totally up to you.
Yeah. Head over to erank.com, go into the Trend Buzz report or the monthly trends report. There's a tab on when you log into eRank, it just says trends, and start diving into what the top searches on Etsy are, because you're going to find a lot of different ideas. There's, trends for home and living, which could be different wall art printables. You could look in paper and party supplies. Maybe you create digital party supplies or, wedding supplies. There's all kinds of things that you can find. So I would definitely do your research, though, with actual data, and also pair it with something that you want to do. Don't just make something because it's trendy. Make it because you want to make it and you're passionate about it.
Would you say most Etsy shoppers start at Google or directly on Etsy? Directly on Etsy. Almost always. I'm sure some of the new shoppers maybe get pushed over to Etsy, just because Etsy has more money to get themselves shown on page 1 of Google now. But for the most part, I think people are shopping directly on Etsy.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any real way for us to tell what the traffic flow from Google to Etsy is. Anthony would be a better person to ask about that. But Etsy's pretty darn popular now in terms of websites. In fact, it's almost on par with eBay. Or no, eBay, we're above eBay. Etsy is above eBay right now, I think, is what Pam said.
Probably. At least for the handmade market, for sure.
No, I mean, overall, I believe that Etsy has surpassed eBay, which you guys can check all this using the eRank traffic stats tool. Or there's a sites, or not traffic stats, the sites tool, which is a new tool that eRank just added. But you can compare the traffic of websites. So if you wanted to try to decide, where should I sell my products? Let's enter, Amazon Handmade and Etsy and eBay. You can see which of those sites actually has the most traffic. So feel free. Somebody should go look it up real quick and let me know which has the most traffic.
Can you by chance share some data on mobile versus desktop purchases? As of right now, there really isn't going to be much of a difference. At least there hasn't been anything said by Etsy to suggest that they would, and no platform really does make a difference between their desktop and mobile.
You can usually
purchases.
Google that information.
Yeah.
Not purchases, but traffic.
Well, they're talking specifically about
Oh.
purchases and how this is a big thing. I'm assuming somebody talked about it because we've been getting this question for a couple of months now. A purchase is a purchase. It doesn't matter if it's an ad purchase, a Google purchase, a purchase from your website on mobile, on desktop. It really shouldn't matter anyway. I don't think they're going to prioritize one over the other unless one leans so heavily into it that they prioritize them more. They might use their ads a little bit differently between desktop and mobile. That I'm just speaking hypothetically, but for the sake of a purchase, I don't think they're going to discriminate. I really don't. At least they haven't said anything to allude that they would be. So I would treat them the same.
Yeah, and I do believe that there are more mobile shoppers. I believe
Probably most people spend most of their time on their phones. So.
I do believe that I've looked up this data in the past, and the last time I checked, I believe mobile was much more. You have a big bubber's hair in your beard. Big long bubber's hair.
That's how it is. And I mean, you got to consider the people that are shopping on Etsy. The majority of them are people sitting on work on their computers, not doing anything, sitting. I mean, that's how most people shop, right? That's when you shop it on Amazon. Yeah. I'm not having a very busy day. Just move my mouse. Don't want to have Etsy on my history on my work computer, so I'll pop up my phone. You know, that's how it is. Can you use medication names on POD products, including your titles, tags, and descriptions? That's a little sensitive. I would assume probably not, since the majority of medications have a trademark or a copyright associated. Or the names most definitely have a copyright.
Yeah.
I don't know if the trademark affects them at all, but probably not.
Yeah. If it's another brand's intellectual property, even if it is a medication,
I would look into it. There might be some specific ones that you could use. Terms like ibuprofen.
Which isn't really owned by...
acetaminophen, which, I mean, I know ibuprofen is owned. Ibuprofen is its own thing, which is acetaminophen. Acetaminophen, you can probably, like, the actual specific chemicals that are in them, probably, but I would consult with a legal professional on that, because that's riding that kind of fine line.
I would head to justanswer.com and pay a couple dollars to ask a lawyer, because my gut instinct is no, because, I mean, they are protected terms.
Specific medications have copyrights.
I'm assuming that you're not making a shirt that says aspirin. I'm assuming that you're making something based on a specific condition.
You never know. It might be somebody with their hands on their head, like with a big headache, and it just says aspirin over there.
Aspirin.
I mean, come on.
Give me an aspirin. I think that, terms like aspirin would probably be okay, but I'm going to also assume that that's probably not what you're looking for. Right. So
yeah, ask a legal professional.
Yeah.
I would love to share my reviews on my Instagram stories. Is it okay to block their Etsy customer's name? What's the best practice for sharing my shop reviews on social media marketing? You should always ask.
Yeah, well, either ask or block out their names. Nothing says that you have to. There is no rule that says that you have to block out their names. However, it's good practice to not share anything related to customer data outside of Etsy, because, it's just not nice to do. I would block their name out entirely. If you don't want to ask them, maybe they left the review a while ago.
Yeah, it's a review on your shop, so, like, technically it's yours. The nice thing to do is at least black out their name. I always would like to make an attempt to message them anyway. Give them a few days. If they don't respond, then just black out their name and post it.
Yeah.
How important is it to use gift phrases and who it is in titles? I just worry that a gift results page will be full of very diverse random stuff with an unsure buyer who has no intent.
It's not that important at all. There's not buyer intent there. Most gift-related terms, if someone is searching for gifts for her for Valentine's Day, gifts for her, and they come up with a search page that has like lingerie and coffee mugs and succulent planners and silver necklaces, they'll look at that page and they'll say, oh, this is a lot of cool ideas, but I really like the succulent planners.
Yep.
I don't like this succulent planter, but I like the idea of a succulent planter. So they go up to that search bar again and they refine their search to succulent planters. That's why we say that those gift terms don't have a lot of shopper intent. However, not only are you going to broad match for associated terms, so maybe somebody for some reason search succulent planter gift, even if those terms aren't right next to each other, you'll still broad match and search for them. So sometimes there's some opportunities there. And a lot of people, they just can't think of very many good keywords, so they stick a gift term in there, which is fine. You can totally do that. We just had somebody say that they were ranking for like some type of Valentine's Day gift term, and they were doing really, really well for it. So sometimes you can do okay, especially if your shop has a good track record, you've been selling for a while, you have a decent number of sales, which means that your listing quality scores are higher and your customer and marketplace experience score is higher. Etsy's more likely to rank you in search for competitive terms that would otherwise be harder for a newbie to start out with. So it really just depends. But in terms of shopper intent, you're absolutely right. There isn't as much buyer intent there. And it would be better for you to find some more in-demand keywords related specifically to what you're selling. Someone who is searching for a very specific type of product wants to buy a very specific type of product, and you're more likely to make a sale there. But if you're out of ideas and you don't have anything else to add in there, try to find yourself a gift term, and try to get specific with your gift term too. You could do like boyfriend gifts, first anniversary boyfriend gifts. You know, that's a very specific gift term.
For thumbnails, for paintings and prints, is it better for the first image to be an actual artwork, no frame and no background, or a framed artwork?
There's no answer to that.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters as long as the artwork is clearly the thing that you're selling, and you can tell what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The answer is that whatever works for you is what works.
Yes. Because
what works for somebody else might not work for you. Quality of, if you're using mockups, quality of mockups is going to play a big role. My biggest suggestion when it comes to what is better, this or this, what is better, this or this? A/B split test. That is literally what an A/B split test is. You can make copies of your listing as long as they stay within your one singular shop. You can't split them up into two shops, but you can take the exact same listing and make two versions of it with different thumbnails. See which one works better, and then delete the other one. You know, test them out for like 4 weeks and see which one brings the most traffic. If you notice that one specific type of thumbnail performs better, then you know which type of thumbnail your customers want.
I want to add links to coordinating products in my description. Is there a cute professional way to make it easier for customers to see what they read or when they read the description? Add links to coordinating products, so products that go with the product. Is there a professional way to make? Okay.
Professional is subjective. So I would recommend making yourself just a little bulleted list. You know, these earrings pair great with the following bracelets, and then maybe add like a fun emoji that matches your branding colors. If your branding color is purple, find the little purple heart-shaped emoji and, you know, add that, and then the link to the bracelet, and then add another purple heart emoji and the link to the next bracelet. That can kind of help divide it out, add little pops of color with those emojis to draw the eyes and to keep things looking a little bit cleaner. But either way, that link is still going to be a big long link, especially if you want it to be clickable, because Etsy, within your Etsy listings, you can link to other Etsy listings and they will be clickable within that product description, as long as they are other Etsy listings. You couldn't like stick your mailing list links often aren't clickable when you put them on Etsy, but usually Etsy links within Etsy descriptions are clickable.
What time is the E-Rank stream again in Eastern time? I thought it said 8 when I checked yesterday. You probably looked at Pam's ad for it then. It's 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Or 8 p.m. UK time.
Yes, it is. It's 3.
Anyone else have a horrible time getting bundled to post correctly and sell correctly?
Not quite sure what you're asking.
I want to say it's a service they're using, but I can't. My brain isn't working on that. Just try to elaborate a little bit, and we'll try to get back to your question. I have a few items that won't sell, and I want them out. I feel that. Any tips on running a successful Etsy sale? Is a steep discount harmful when you have a luxury brand? Does it downgrade the value of items? It's a clearance sale.
Some of the top brands in the world have sales. The whole thing about does putting things on sale cheapen my brand? No. The top brands in the world run sales. No, it doesn't cheapen your brand. But honestly, if you've got a bunch of stuff that you don't want that stuff in your shop anymore, maybe it doesn't fit your brand anymore, it's not moving, it's stuff that you just don't want to make anymore, you don't like it. There's a couple things you can do. Start by putting it on sale on Etsy. If that doesn't work, try selling it to friends on your Facebook. Say, hey, I'm just trying to clear out this stuff. If that doesn't work, you can always run some giveaways on your social media to try to grow your audience a little bit. That's a cool thing that you can do to get rid of products, but also get like a little bit of positive ROI that can help your business overall. And it can make your customers or your followers, you know, feel a little bit more fondly towards you because you gave them something cool. Or you know,
it's a clearance sale. It's a studio clearing sale.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do, but you know, start by discounting it on Etsy. It's not going to cheapen your brand.
I have a weird question. eRank tells me that I've sold more than 70% of all other shops on Etsy, but I only have 49 sales. I find that depressing for 70% of shop owners. eRank wrong? Nope, they're not. That's correct. It's directly from Etsy's API.
Yep, that is correct. Because you have to consider that most people will start an Etsy shop and will not make any sales.
There are how many sellers on Etsy?
Over 5 million.
Yeah. So how many of those people you think sign up to create an account and say they're going to sell and then never actually stick anything in their shop? Or they stick a bunch of crap in their shop that nobody wants to buy. Or they stick copyright things in there and very quickly get shut down after they make 2 or 3 sales. Like you got to consider the market itself. And if there were 5 million active sellers on Etsy and all of them were all doing very, very, very well, then everyone would only be getting like 5 or 6
now, I will
sales,
say,
because there's no such thing as an original idea.
Once you hit that top like 80% of sellers, it's going to get a lot harder. So feel happy about that top 70%.
Yep, the higher you get on that list, the harder it gets because the more competition you actually have, the more experienced competition you have, I should say.
And hitting that top 1%, I remember when Art by Starla Moore hit the top 1%. It was...
We have several top 1% sellers here.
Oh yeah. Amber Marie's absolutely a top. I don't think
that's also a pretty depressing number though. Once you get to the top 1%, you realize after you've had like a couple hundred sales, you're at like top 1. You're like, oh.
You know why? Because a lot of people don't remain up. Yeah, they give up. They don't remain consistent. They don't do what they should be doing.
They're selling something in a niche so niche that there's nobody there.
Yeah. I found a great quote today and I saved it so I could say it on the stream. And
you forgot it, didn't you?
Well, it's on my phone over there. I specifically.
Yeah, if you're selling like,
it was a
international hippo loving nudists t-shirts,
then you might have a
hard time selling on Etsy.
Yeah. Okay. It was Stephen King. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work. The thing about Etsy is that there's going to be more people not willing to work than there are going to be people who are willing to work. But you guys are here right now and you're trying to learn something. You're not just sticking things on the internet and hoping that they sell. You're actually
trying to do something.
Which means you're already ahead.
I have a weird question. Oh, that was the same one. I would love some tips for time management. Specifically, I have a day job and want to bring some physical products for my Etsy. Tips for managing timely shipping with an inflexible day job.
Catherine, only you know what your schedule looks like. Everybody wakes up and they've got 24 hours. Only you know what your schedule looks like. What I recommend is that you get familiar with the things that you have to do and then begin eliminating the don't have to do's. So start, for like a week. Write down from the moment that you get up the have to do's, the priorities, and
track what you're actually doing,
right? And including your work, and when you're at work, track your have to do's, and then look at the time that you have remaining, and that's when you can start designating that time for other things. You can say, "Wow, I didn't realize I had a huge block in between 2 to 3 p.m. I could pack some orders or make a new product during that time." Nobody can give you more time. But what you can do is start analyzing what your schedule looks like and start reassigning time. Because believe it or not, we usually can find hours in our day that we don't realize that we're using for things that we don't.
Oh man, I spent 45 minutes scrolling TikTok when I pooped today.
Right, exactly.
That was 45 minutes you wasted on TikTok, right? And you'd be surprised how often like a little 2-minute thing here and a 5-minute thing. That stuff adds up quick. It adds up real quick.
Yeah. So start by writing down all of your have to do's first, and then add in some need to do's, and then once you get your need to do's, you can start assigning some days that have some want to do's. So for example, on the weekends, I only do want to do's. If
Oh yeah. Catch me after 5 o'clock on a Friday, and you're not gonna hear from me till Monday morning.
only want to do's on weekends.
Yeah, absolutely. It's for mental health. I used to do the same thing with mobile games. I would have just a mobile game where you'd pop it open, attend to your little thing for 5 minutes, and then leave. And I quit doing that, and that added like a good hour back to my day. Wanting to add jewelry to my niche, is it weird to use birthstones as a color scheme rather than representing a birthday? For example, May birthstone is emerald, but to use it for St. Patrick's themed gift. No, it's totally normal.
Yeah, you'll never know unless you test, though. So experiment with it.
We did that.
Yeah, we've done.
We had holiday themed stuff that was just it's stone is a stone. It's just a colored rock that we've just so happened designated to be the color for a specific birthday. There's no real meaning to it.
Yeah, and many people are going to buy just, the color that they like more. Not just maybe they don't like their birthstone.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll buy the color that they like.
Do you have any tips for doing launches when you have a very tiny following?
Yeah, launch like you have a big following.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the
different.
Yeah, it's all in the mind, because when people start seeing your brand and they start being conditioned to expect product launches, and they start seeing other people jumping on board, that's just going to snowball. You have to launch with the same confidence when you're starting as you would when you have a big following, because it makes you look more confident, and more confidence in a brand puts more confidence in the hearts of your shoppers, because they realize that, okay, if they're confident, that must mean that they do a good job. They're confident about what they sell. This is a good product. If I were, for example, we'll use Handmade Alpha Academy, which is my coaching program. If I got on here to market Handmade Alpha Academy and I was like, well, I teach people to sell online, and it's a lot of people like it. And I think you'll like it. Like nobody would buy that.
Treat it just treat it the same, because the thing is, if you did have a big following and you try to do your first launch once you have a big following, it's going to be the big suck. You're not going to be ready for it. Things are going to go wrong, and you're going to be too nervous to figure out how to fix it in the time. Like, do it when you have a small following. Treat it as if you had a big following. Do your best. Things are going to happen. Awkward situations are going to happen, and you're not going to know how to deal with them. And it's way worse when there's a big crowd of people watching you flop than like 3 or 4 people.
Absolutely. Yeah. You start knocking it out of the park.
We've
early.
all been there. We started having those tiny little, like, there were 10 people in a stream, like nobody chatting, nobody saying anything. You got to roll with it. Have those contingencies. What if nobody chats? Okay, cool. I'm going to do a giveaway. Suddenly people start chatting, right? Sometimes you and you might take a loss or two doing things like that. It's how it is, but it's how you grow.
Yeah, because realistically, nothing bad's gonna happen if your first few launches don't do great.
Mm-hmm. Might be a little awkward and slow, but
and that's not to say that she's doing live launches.
Yeah.
We always associate launching and doing like live videos, but like
we did live stream launches,
right.
But yeah.
But with products, regardless, you're marketing, you're doing everything that you should be doing, whether you're launching or not. Just use it as practice.
If I go from free shipping to paid shipping, does it affect my ranking and visibility?
No. The only thing that that free shipping does is it allows you to show up in the free shipping search filter if somebody is utilizing filters while shopping, but most shoppers don't. However, in the data that I'm going to be releasing, that top secret data that only we have access to.
Teehee.
Yay, working for E-Rank. Us and Pam. Pam's also.
Pam's going to talk about it too.
Yeah, but we're like the only Etsy YouTubers who have this. We're going to be talking a little bit about how important specific things are to shoppers based on what real shoppers actually said. And free shipping is one of those things.
Is it the same survey platform? You haven't even talked to me about that. Same way we did it last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ought to have me look at that data so I can drive some things out of it that you might not think of.
Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, this Tuesday, watch for a video because we talk about free shipping for quite a bit.
She forgets to talk to the data guy about the data when all of the points she came up with for her last video I made up.
Well, this one is it was self-explanatory. You'll see it and you'll be like, oh,
I got you.
It's self-explanatory.
Data nerd. We're just starting out on Etsy. Only one item listed so far. We have lots of Christmas and winter themes ready. Should I list them even though it's February?
mean, they're not going to sell.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to sell well. You can get them in there and then around July, try to do a Christmas in July to drive up traffic, but you're going to want to have other stuff in between.
Yeah.
Unless you're specifically selling Christmas stuff. That's different.
Yeah. The thing is, you're going to be paying 20 cents per listing. So it is going to cost you money for items that probably aren't going to sell. Well, if I were you, depending on how fast you can make your products, I'd start thinking of, you should be thinking 4 months ahead. Always think 4 months ahead with your launches. Try to launch things 4 months before the season that they're intended for. So if I were you, I would be trying to get some summer stuff in there.
I recently started watching your videos, love your videos, but I didn't get an answer as I asked earlier. I just looked up through and your question's not in there, so it must have been something that got blocked by the system. If you use terms like Instagram or specific things like that, our system automatically blocks it. But is it okay to start with 20 listings in jewelry?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. The amount that you start with doesn't matter. You're not selling them if they're not in your shop.
Yeah, totally fine.
First time Friday bean version. I see you set me up for adult jokes that I can't say. Would love to see a link or two on A/B testing, on how to do A/B testing. You just make 2 separate listings.
Yeah,
Make a listing, duplicate it, make the changes you want to make.
Make a listing. And then from your back end of your listings page, click copy listing. And then you have 2 listings. And then you can change out if you want to do a test on 2 different thumbnails. You have each listing has a different thumbnail. Or you could do an A/B split test of keywords. One listing you use one set of keywords, one listing you use another set of keywords. That's it. You're just you're selling the same item across 2 different listings using, different thumbnail or different keywords or whatever it is you want to test. And then whichever one does well, that is the method you should.
Bad one.
Right. You should keep doing whatever you're doing with that. And then you can delete the other one. All right.
I have a shop with printables for kids, and one particular niche of these products is selling better than the other. Should I open a new shop just for them? Or this will affect their performance for the worse? If you open a second shop, it'll be like you're opening a brand new shop. You're not carrying over any data from your previous shop.
Yes.
So.
Items that are selling, they build what is known as a listing quality score. This is an invisible score. You don't get to see it, but you can feel it. Because if anybody has ever had a listing sell, and then suddenly that listing sells again in a short time frame and it's really weird, or it sells multiple times, that's Etsy saying, hey, this sold. People like this. Let's show it to more people. And the more a listing sells, the more Etsy is likely to show that listing to the right type of people. So even if you were to create another shop only making that type of product, you're starting from 0 again. So yeah, the listing performance, if you're getting rid of the listings in the original shop, then that listing performance is your whole shop performance is likely going to fall if those are the listings that are bringing traffic. As long as those products fit your niche, I would add more types of that product into your existing shop because you've already built a good track record with Etsy, and Etsy showing your listings to more people. Keep feeding the machine. Keep listening to the signals that your customers are sending you. If they're telling you, I like this particular product, which purchases are their way of saying we like this type of product, then Etsy is more likely to recommend that type of product to more people, and you're going to have a more successful shop overall.
They said, go ahead and make the joke. You want to. I don't need to. You said bean and virgin in the same sentence. You know the joke.
We don't.
know the spell, Harry.
I love how Tracy's like, I'm ready for spicy.
I have
you
a shop.
Read that. That's the one you just read.
Is it?
Yes.
No, it's not.
It is.
Free shipping greater than 35 is killing me.
You don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
Can you do a Trello planner, please, for the next holiday? No.
Yes. Trello planner. You mean
the one that we did this last season
for the Alpha Holiday Boot Camp? We're hosting another Alpha Holiday Boot Camp. Are you talking about the Alpha Holiday Boot Camp? We're going to do another one of those.
We are.
We're
going to do one every year.
For the holidays. Handmade Alpha Academy students get
it's our little cheap thing. Yeah. And if you're an HA student, even if you sign up in June, you get all of them forever for free.
Yeah.
You get everything other than other full-size courses that we make for free at any time, at all times.
But we don't even have any other full-size courses, so.
Well, keep an eye out.
Don't tell them that. I don't even know what I'm going to make a course about. I'm thinking about making it.
Yes, you do. She knows what she's going to make a course about. She's silly. But the thing is, it doesn't involve most of you because it's not Etsy specific, so don't worry about it.
I'm going to try something new.
Does eRank or other research platform show which POD provider someone is using? When I see 5-star reviews on a t-shirt, would be great to know who printed it. No, I don't believe you can.
No, that's a really big invasion of privacy.
No, it's not, because you can just buy it and it'll show who it's shipping from. When I buy something, it's if they're shipping from Printful or Printify, the very first notification I get, it says shipping from Printify XYZ facility.
Well, either way, most
but no, that doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't, and there's no other platform that does that because that would be helpful to your competitors. That's kind of personal.
Not really. I mean, there's like 3 to choose from.
That's not true.
There's 3 that most people choose from.
But Printful and Printify prints their own. Printify is made up of tons of little. Printify doesn't print anything. Contractors,
yes.
They're smaller print on demand, like Printed Mint and Guten and all the other ones.
If you get a sale from an offsite ad, could it be someone new to Etsy? I mean, it could be anyone. There's no way to tell.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
That's right.
It could be me.
POD, some successful sellers say you can start in different niches, evergreen, holiday, and pet lovers, gifts for mom, etc. What do you think about this? How do I know my POD designs are good enough?
All right, so the first question is, you can start in a bunch of different niches. Sure, you can, but you're going to see those shops everywhere, and most of them are not successful. The most successful print-on-demand shops that you see are the ones who have very, very specific niches. If you guys did not know, I am on Printify's expert team, and I'm doing I have a webinar coming up with them in March that I'm going to have some information for you guys to sign up for. And one of the main things that me and Martin, their webinar lead, talked about during our last meeting was how the most successful POD shops are the ones who focus on niches. If you try to make a bunch of products for everybody, while you might be able to get a ton of listings out into search, that doesn't ensure that you're going to have repeat buyers, because you're not creating a relationship on a personal level with that individual in a way that says, this is what my brand is all about. So, Linda, you already know my opinion on niches because that's what Handmade Alpha Academy is all about, and you're in there. Niches are important. You don't see very many successful new print-on-demand shops. I'm sure that there's a couple who, when POD was brand new, they jumped in right away.
And a lot of those big random sell everything POD shops are successful, and they've been around for a long time.
Right, but you as a newcomer getting into the industry, making
an extremely saturated, easy to get in market.
Right. And you, it doesn't sound like, I know that we've talked a lot about, where you trying to find your niche, based on our last time talking. I don't feel like trying to do everything is the best path. I think that, that choosing that niche, doing your research, finding a gap in the market, something that people actively want, and then focusing on that not only is going to help you to create better designs. Because if you're trying to create designs about everything, you can't be, the creator of all, because you end up being the master of none. You should be the master of one. So really do a deep dive into yourself and decide, who do I want to help? Who do I want to work with? Like I say all the time, if you hate teenagers, don't make products for teenagers, and then you'll never have to work with teenagers. If you hate people who love cats, I hate cats. I don't want to work with people who like cats.
And get out of my stream.
Well, yeah, then you're not welcome here. No, but don't make products for people who own cats. Don't make cat products. Think of the exact type of person that you want to work with. If you love dogs, like Amber Marie, for example, she loves dogs. Her whole life is absorbed by dog training and dog activities and drawing dogs and selling things related to dogs and dog shows. She wants to work with people who love dogs. So she makes products just for people who love dogs. And she's made over $500,000 selling products for people who love dogs. The more defined you are, the more likely it is that someone will fall in love with your brand on an emotional level. If you sell everything, there is nothing that makes me say, yes, this brand is for me, because it's not. Nobody has an emotional tie to Walmart. Nobody's like, I love Walmart.
I'm sure somebody does.
Walmart's my favorite style. Walmart has everything. But you see people who are like, I love Louis Vuitton. I only wear
Gucci.
I only wear Gucci.
Most people here don't have a friend that only wears Gucci.
Well, but you guys understand where I'm, there's brand loyalty in niches.
Yeah. How important is seen on Etsy to SEO? Sometimes the SEO word is a high column word, but many times it's a low volume word. So how important should I give seen on Etsy?
You're talking about spotted on Etsy within eRank, correct? Spotted on Etsy is just the rank checker. It's showing you where one of your listings is ranking for one of the keywords that you're monitoring within the monitor tool. So how important is it? It's just showing you your search placement from Etsy's API minus personalization. It's good information to know. It means that your keywords are probably pretty good. It means that, you could take some of those keywords and maybe apply them to some listings that aren't performing good, or maybe it's a way to give you ideas for future products to make if you notice that you're ranking really well. But it's good to know information. That's it.
Cat lover right here. Bubber's Cult Arise.
Yes.
Cats in the chat for my cat lovers.
We should make a Bubbers shirt in the Alpha shop. Would you guys buy a Bubbers, a special limited release Bubbers shirt?
I love your marketing graphics you supplied in the Black Friday toolbox.
Awesome.
Thank you. Do you make other graphics?
Spring theme, summer theme.
Summer, yeah. Bundles for purchasers or something in HAA.
There is something in HAA.
There's a big resource in HAA, which we need to expand a little bit, but it's so big.
The graphics chest in Handmade Alpha Academy, I believe it's every holiday, and I believe that it's 470 graphics for all the seasons and holidays.
Yeah, we have one master zip you can download, and then there's like all the individual ones. That page took me so long to make because there's a different image and link for it.
There's no master zip. They're all their own categories. That way, if you don't want the adult,
I made a master one that links to the overall download that downloads all the separate zips in one.
We even have
we
even have one that's for 18 plus, but it's not, there's nothing like inappropriate in it. It's like there's like a sexy mannequin. Like we're pushing the limits because we've got some 18 plus sellers in there. But to answer your question, yes, it's in Handmade Alpha Academy, which is not open yet. But if you guys are interested in checking out my coaching program, that will be opening for enrollment June 14th. There's a waiting list down below. That'll take you to a page with a bunch of information about the program. It's self-paced. We just open it on a specific day to maintain our sanity and traffic flows. But sign up for that waiting list. That doesn't obligate you to buy it. It just ensures that you get a notification when the door is open and you get additional information about it. But
we had a couple questions for it. Is it a one-time fee for life? When is the next enrollment? The next enrollment, it opens on June 14th. It is either one payment of $997, $997, or 6 monthly payments of $199. And you get access for life, and by life we mean as long as we're alive and can afford to have the website. So
yeah, the website isn't going anywhere, and we're assuming that our daughter's going to take it over.
And we
someday.
have plans. We have contingency plans. If I die, she's going to marry Amber Marie.
Yes, that's the plan.
And if she dies, that she's just going to come over here and marry me instead. So we're either way. Amber Marie's going to come over here.
Amber's going to be the work wife.
Amber is the work wife.
She's
terrible. Either way,
she's not even here, and she's
yes, she was. She was here earlier.
Oh, was she?
Yes.
She's
Yeah,
probably
sorry, Scott. Sorry, Scott.
You can marry both of them.
Probably legal here soon.
Yeah, you can marry all. You guys.
I don't discriminate.
Yeah, it'll be a big.
You guys do the work. I'll spend the money.
The short answer is that
it'll be around for a long time. It comes out in June, and you get lifetime access for one payment or 6.
I'm only 30. I ain't kicking the bucket anytime soon. No plans to, at least. Knock on wood.
Just be nice. We have stairs.
Oh, oh no, you're a bad person.
There's the spicy joke for the day.
I love you.
Let's see here. I'm getting traffic from Google and get a weekly report weekly to see how many people were sent to my Etsy shop.
Yeah, you can from Google Analytics too. You can see, but I think that the original question that we had heard was how much traffic is coming from Google to Etsy as a whole. So you can find out for your specific shops by connecting Google Analytics, which you guys can only claim Google Analytics or Google Universal Analytics, Google Properties. That'll be cutting off July 1st. After July 1st, Universal Analytics is gone. Universal Analytics is the only thing that you can connect to Etsy because they have not integrated to Google Analytics 4. So if you guys want Google Analytics 4 to be integrated with Etsy so that we can keep getting this amazing data from Google Analytics and, you can connect that to eRank and get eRank to show you all that great information, you need to bug Etsy and say, hey, we want Google Analytics 4. Start working on Google Analytics 4. I recommend tagging them on Twitter. It's like the best place to publicly say, Etsy, pay attention to what I have to say. So, yeah.
Somebody asked if it had lifetime access to past and future content. Yeah, so HAA is do at your own pace, and we just update it from time to time. And then anything that we release, like big stuff, like our holiday boot camp and all that stuff gets integrated in there at the end of every year.
You get everything that we've ever, everything that we have, everything, all the boot camps that we do every year. Those are normally like, they're $60 on the first day, $100 on the second day.
And like I said, the only things that you won't,
get those free.
The only things that you won't get that we release, both paid and free, will be other full size courses if we do them in the future, because you're talking about something that takes like 1,000 man hours to actually like create. So,
but we don't have any of those.
But we don't have any of those yet. So you just get everything. I'm almost 82. I want to transfer my Etsy inventory and website to my daughter and granddaughter. How?
We talked about.
Not comfortable answering that.
I already talked to Etsy about it.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Etsy says, now this is, we asked because we were curious what would happen in the event that someone passed away. Like, to pass on. You did that. Yeah, to pass on a shop to your spouse. Which, a daughter, that would be the same. Now, technically, you cannot transfer an Etsy shop. There are people, you'll see them online trying to sell their Etsy shops and stuff. You can't do that the moment that you make that transfer and, Etsy catches wind of it, they just shut it down. You can't change that. Etsy says that they have a special representative in the event that someone were to die that can help with the ability to transfer a shop. That's what they told us directly.
It's Ted, the death guy.
But I would recommend contacting Etsy directly, letting them know your situation. There is a 50-50 shot that they're going to say it can't be transferred and that you would need to start a new shop for them to take over. That would, once again, wipe your slate clean. No good reviews.
It's a new shop.
It's a new shop. You'd be starting from scratch.
Yeah, you messaging them, that's pretty much all you can do. Is this the suitable time for St. Patrick's Day listening? Thank you so much.
It's a little late. You're running a little late.
Get the marketing calendars down below.
Yeah, you're running a little late. I would be working on Easter and Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's a little late. It takes, 60 to 90 days for Etsy to even assess how people are finding your items in search and interacting with them in order to build you a listing quality score. That's why we say 4 months. So I would start thinking about summer if I were you, and Easter.
What website platform do you recommend to start up your own site to sell on? That's kind of personal preference.
Yeah.
There are so many different website builders out there. I would recommend going to someone a little more experienced with that. For now.
I made a pretty nice Wix shop through Printify, or added the Printify integration. And I like that.
There's ups and downs to every platform. So I would watch a few different videos on some different platforms. Wix, you can open up your own site using WordPress. That's going to be your most expansive,
flexible
WordPress with Elementor, but it's also going to have the most work and biggest learning curve. You're going to have to learn a lot to do it no matter what you do. You post in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community.
Link down below.
Ask what other people are using and how they liked it, and make the choice for yourself on what you prefer.
Yeah, I liked Wix. It took me like 2 days to get my website with my shop set up.
A lot of hiccups here and there, but that's the nature of working with a web-based website builder.
If you have no idea what you're doing, I would recommend using a web builder though, because it's way easier.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's see here. I want to make sure. Okay. Can you have a digital item on one shop and then have a link in that listing to your other shop where they can buy physical product of what the digital item would be DIY?
I believe that as long as you're linking them to another Etsy shop, you can do that. I believe. I'm like 99% sure. I would double check my facts on that little 1% possibility that I'm wrong, but I am almost positive that if you're keeping them on Etsy, wants shoppers on Etsy to stay on Etsy. You're
Yes.
keeping them on Etsy.
Yeah.
So it should be fine, but maybe
Message Etsy support, ask.
do a quick fact check.
When you first, I'm assuming
List.
item is 9% and 29%, a magic visibility score. It seems to be my default. I was just curious.
Visibility score is based on your listings, like all time from the moment it was listed. Visibility. I am so bad with visibility score, and I've explained it so many times, and I still mess it up because it's not something that I ever look at on eRank. So I'm terrible at explaining it. The short answer is there's probably not a magic visibility score because it's based on historical data, just the history of.
And it might be incremental. That might be why you're seeing certain percentages at certain times. It might start at a specific percent. There might not be like a 5%, 10%. It might be an incremental thing. So if you're seeing 9 and 29% pretty much every time, then that's probably just how it works.
I wish Pam was here. Pam.
Yeah, she's better. Pam. She's better at explaining it than we are.
Yeah. I don't look at it. eRank has so many tools, and visibility score is just one of the things that I don't spend a lot of, even as a manager at eRank, I don't obsess over my visibility score. I don't obsess over spotted on Etsy, though it's the same as the rank checker, which I do like. But yeah, it's just not something that I put a lot of stock into. Same with grades in the listing audit.
As a shop that works with a charity, what would you recommend to someone who's just opening up their shop? Should I wait a bit with sales before setting up a charity option on some listings?
That's personal preference.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. Don't feel bad about it. No matter what you do, if you're going to be permanently selling attached to a charity, you're going to have people that are doubtful that you're actually working with a charity.
Just and also make sure that you're following the guidelines for that charity and making sure that you're allowed to advertise yourself as being
some charities,
associated.
Some charities don't like that kind of stuff, so make sure that it's cool.
Yeah, and speaking of charities, guys, today's live stream is for the Wolf Conservation Center of South Salem, New York. Feel free to donate. We've raised $115 over the last few weeks.
We don't see a penny of that. That goes straight to them.
They actually weren't one of the YouTube approved organizations, but I bugged YouTube about it.
We got them approved,
which is really important because there's currently only 8 red wolves left in the wild in South Carolina.
When's the last time you checked that stat?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
They actually introduced 3 more in 2021. 3 red wolves into the wild, and all 3 of them turned up dead. But there are currently 8 in the wild and 200 in captivity. So that is a startling amount of wolves. So please consider donating because they help with overall wolf conservation and education.
And make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content that we make. We do short form factor videos on Tuesdays. Yep. So you can imagine it's a lot of work to talk about the same thing for an hour and a half. So we'd really appreciate the thumbs up and the like if you got it in you.
Absolutely.
Can I still have success selling Christmas items if I put them up now? We kind of already answered this question. It doesn't really matter. You can put Christmas listings up whenever you want. They're going to sell the most before Christmas.
Yeah,
so.
Kathy, you can head over to erank.com right now. Go to the keyword tool, type in Christmas whatever.
And see exactly when the best times to post it are.
Oh, and you can see how many people are searching for it right now because it's not going to be very many. People aren't shopping for Christmas stuff right now. So if you put them up, that's fine. Probably not going to sell until like July, which is when we see the very first searches. And then August, it picks up a bit, but you're going to sell the most usually October, November. That's just the nature of selling a holiday themed product, unfortunately.
Sorry, I'm at a point where I got to scroll for like a hot minute. How do I get emojis in there? Can you use Bitly links?
So emojis, I would recommend, some people have emoji keyboards. You can also go to Emojipedia. I just grab them there and copy them from emojipedia.com.org. I can't remember. I just Google Emojipedia. And can you use Bitly? I don't think that they're clickable. I don't think that if you shorten your link with Bitly that it'll be clickable.
Oh, that wasn't a question. I've seen you can add a text also when the photos for the products are uploaded for a new listing. What's best to add there? The title?
No, you're talking about the alt text, right? That is associated with each photo. Alt text is to help people who are blind or have visual impairments, but we'll use a blind person as an example, okay? If you had a blind person sitting next to you and you had your photo of your product up on the screen, how would you describe not just the item, but that photo to them? What would you tell them? For example, it could be, here, I'll use your ring. Magenta and white, glow in the dark, acrylic ring sitting on the palm of a Caucasian woman's hand. And I just got some keywords in there too, which apparently are more important for Google search for the alt text. But getting keywords in there isn't your goal. It is to help people who are visually impaired because they often use special programs and computers that read out loud.
It's called accessibility.
Exactly. And if you're the only shop on that search page who has made your listings viewable for those who have to view without actually being able to view,
then that blind person is going to be going next, next, next. Oh, wow, one I can actually pay attention to.
Exactly. Exactly. So fill it out, every single photo, as if you were trying to explain it to someone who couldn't see.
If you open up a second Etsy shop and Etsy shuts it down because it's a new shop, will both shops be shut down?
No. We just had that happen when we opened AlphaDapt.
Yes.
Etsy shuts down almost all new shops that open.
It's been an issue for a hot minute now.
Yeah, like 2 years. They say it's a bug, but I don't think it's a bug. I think that they are trying to eliminate bots that open shops.
Because it's super easy to bot things in now.
Yep. So all you got to do is message Etsy, say, hey, I'm trying to set up my new shop. It got shut down. I want to start adding listings. Can you reactivate it? And then they'll reactivate it. But it shouldn't affect your other shop. Now, if it does, make sure that you tell Etsy.
Can you legally sell an item created from a YouTube tutorial? Okay. Couple things with this. I watch a lot of YouTube stuff. So in verbatim question here, yes. If it is explicitly a tutorial on how to make something, then yes. If it is a video where someone made something and they showed their process, that's not explicitly a tutorial, and you need to be careful with that because they might be making something that they're selling.
Or patented.
Or copyright. So if it's like explicitly a tutorial, then they're giving you, they're saying this is a tutorial. They're giving you permission by saying it's a tutorial. Now, other countries, I can't say, but in the US, that's probably fine. So I'm going to go off and say, yeah, probably. Just be careful. Do your research, figure out what the person does. If they sell their stuff, then I probably wouldn't.
Avoid copyright themes.
Yeah, avoid copyright themes.
Ask them.
All the normal. Yeah.
Ask them.
Most people doing tutorials, if they're excited enough, if they post a video, comment down in their comment section. Ask them. Get their contact information from their about profile on YouTube. Find them on Instagram, Facebook. Message them. Say, hey, can I make this thing that you made in your video?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll say, yeah, if you make me a cool video and I can share on my Instagram, sure. I mean, you never know. There's collaboration there, right? There's opportunity. Do you use or can you recommend a tool that can do mass uploads to Etsy with? I want to load 50 plus products at a time.
The thing is, doing a mass upload, no, I don't know of a tool that does that, but every listing should be a little bit unique. You're not going to get very far if you're just mass uploading and not adding variations to your tags, titles, descriptions, and attributes. So not only do I not have a tool, I don't find that to be a very good strategy. Does Get Vela do that? Does anybody know? I know you can bulk edit listings, but I don't think you can bulk upload, nor do I recommend it. It doesn't seem like a good strategy.
You sell more with a sale. My shop always runs a sale. Yes, in the immediate you do. However, if you're constantly running sales, you're kind of devaluing your product a little bit.
Now, I did say a little bit ago that running sales doesn't devalue your product unless you are
constantly
Always
running a sale, because you're going to have less of an opportunity to build return customers, because people are going to see that your shop's always on sale. So then to them, they're not seeing it as a sale. They're just seeing it as your regular price. And over time, they're less conditioned to want to continue buying from the same shop instead of buying something from a higher price that then runs a sale. Because that to them looks like it's the higher value. If you have a $200 product and a $100 product, and the $200 product goes on sale for $100, you're more willing to buy the $200 product that's on sale, because you think in your head that that is a more valuable product, even if they're the exact same thing, right? So in the immediate, you'll probably make more money. But if you're trying to build long-term engagement with customers that always come back, you're more likely to do so once you've ran a temporary sale, and not so much with running it all the time. It's similar to, like, if you go to any store, like Kohl's is a good example for that. Online, you can't really tell, but if you go into a Kohl's store, literally everything on every shelf is on sale all year, always.
Hand me that candle there. How many of you guys are familiar with Bath and Body Works or Goose Creek candles? You guys know, if you use any of these candles, that they cost $26.
And Bath and Body Works are $30 to $35.
They're $26 unless you get a premium jar. I am obsessed with these candles. I never buy them at full price. They run sales so frequently that I always know that I can get these candles between $13 and $10. And I know that if I wait a couple days, I can always get these because they run sales so frequently. If they ever wanted to actually go and stop running sales,
they wouldn't sell anywhere near as many candles.
Exactly. So
sales are a tactic.
Sales are a tactic. They are a tactic. But I wouldn't tell everybody how you said you sell more with a sale. No, you sell more with a sale. You should say, I sell more with a sale.
Yeah, it might work for you.
Right. That's not information that will fit every mold.
Yeah, it's your niche, your particular circumstances, how you run
customers.
Yeah, everything from the day that you opened your shop to today is unique entirely to you in some way. So yeah, it might literally work better for you to always have sales, but for the majority, that's not going to work. The bundles are not listing correctly on Etsy. And when they are bought, the inventory isn't linking correctly with Crafty Base. My biggest wrestle with Etsy is getting bundle options to appear how I want. Single item, bundle item with price difference mainly.
I can't even begin to tell you.
Never done anything like that.
And I don't know anything about Crafty Base, unfortunately. But if you're using an Etsy integration, they're bound to have problems. A lot of Etsy integrations like that will have issues. Even eRank occasionally. If Etsy's API messes up, then eRank gets messed up, and it's not fixed until Etsy fixes what's wrong on their API's end. So it sounds like you need to contact Crafty Base and ask them. They're probably easier to contact than Etsy is. Etsy's a pain to get a hold of.
I've had a Shopify store for a while, but haven't spent time building it alongside my Etsy. What's the best and legal way to drive traffic from my Etsy to my Shopify store?
So what is not legal is putting your Shopify store anywhere in your Etsy shop, other than there's a little link at the bottom under your About section where it asks you, if you want to link a Pinterest, an Instagram, a Facebook, a website, you can put it there, but that's it. The best way to drive traffic legally is every time you ship an order, put in a little printout, little business card, little whatever, give them a coupon code that can only be redeemed at your website. To save 20% on your next order, use the code blah, blah, blah on my website, and then put the link to your website. So that's one way. Second way is you build an email list. So basically you tell people on Etsy, hey, sign up for my email list to save 20% off on your purchase, get an automatic discount code. You can set that up through MailChimp. I don't teach that here on my channel because there's just too many legalities with GDPR and the Canned Spam Act when it comes to email list privacy. So that all stays in Handmade Alpha Academy. But MailChimp is what I recommend. And you can set it up so that people can get an automatic discount code right when they sign up. And then when you email people on your email list and start pushing out email marketing, you direct all that email marketing to your website. Etsy says that we can have a mailing list, that we can advertise our mailing list, as long as the link isn't to a shop where they can buy anything else. It's just your mailing list. Etsy's fine with that. In fact, they have an entire like article about, having an email list and, recommending it basically. So
sensitive question time. If I create a design with Midjourney AI and then sell on Etsy, do I have a copyright problem? Okay, layers to this answer here. Right now, no. As of right now, no. However, AI, as of right now, is taught using other images. Sometimes it can be hard to tell where it's pulling. I don't know where Midjourney pulls from. I don't know if it's pulling from Google Images or a specific website. However, they're using other people's art. The argument is whether or not if it generates something based on a mathematical algorithm that has been derived from other people's art, it's not using the art. Don't confuse that. It's not picking a piece out and sticking it on a picture. It's mathematically derived from art. Is that copyright, even though the thing that made the art is zeros and ones, not the image that it derived it from? We don't know. I'm going to link you a video from Legal Eagle. Somebody got mad last week that we didn't link something that was live stream. I would highly recommend that you go watch that. However, just because it's not a copyright problem now doesn't mean it won't be in the future. More than likely in the US, it's probably going to be a long time, and there's actually a chance that on the federal legal level that it won't ever be a copyright violation. However, that doesn't mean that platforms themselves won't restrict it, and I can almost guarantee that Etsy will eventually kick it. It'll be up to their shareholders to determine whether or not they do, but it's damaging to the handmade community. So I can't in good conscience recommend that you do that right now. The argument's subjective, so I'm not going to go into my opinions why, but I'm going to post you a video that goes over all the current legal opinions on it and what it looks like and why. So I recommend you go check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and post that here in the chat now. Watch it after the stream, maybe bookmark it or whatever. But as of right now, to answer your question, literally, no, as of right now, there is no copyright problem using AI.
Wow, we're just getting to people talking about what % of seller they are.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get to anywhere near all of these questions.
That's fine.
I'm going to be real with you. I probably won't get to any more questions that you guys post from this point on. We are so far up the list here, but that's okay. We do these every Friday. If for some reason we don't get to your question, we usually do a 30 to 45 minute topic and then answer questions for 45 minutes. So make sure you subscribe. That way we pop up in your little feed. Click the bell icon if you use the YouTube app and you want to get notified when we go live. It should send you a notification on the top of your phone that says Starla Moore went live.
And Thursdays over on the eRank channel as well. Yeah. Me and Pam Duthie, we answer tons of Etsy SEO related questions and other things as well. So
if you want to hear it from somebody else, go to our Facebook group. Then you can ask questions on our Facebook page or group. This makes me feel better. I've been open since December and sold to 60 people. Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.
Those are great numbers. Though.
Running a business is slow.
It is.
Some people blow up quick, but it's slow.
Go watch my video. I posted a video on Tuesday where I talk about basically the reality of starting a business from home. And, right now, we totaled it out. Right now, we make across everything that we do, because we have a lot of revenue streams, we make about $600 a day. That is our transparent answer. We make about $600 a day where we are right now in our life. And it took 5 years of constant work to get my first business to even be at a point of relative sustainability.
Yes.
So it takes time, but the harder you work, the easier it'll be. And I'm not big on the hustle culture. And
no. And it's $600 a day based on information from 2021 and 2022. This year, it'll probably be closer to about $1,000.
Yeah.
Businesses grow. It takes time. We've been doing HAA for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
The YouTube channel. I mean, we've got a couple of videos that have made us $1,000 just because the videos blew up.
And we're talking gross, not
yeah.
not net, because Uncle Sam, boy, oh boy, let me tell you, Uncle Sam gets his cut. Some of you guys would poop if you knew how much we had to pay for taxes. That's another good point, though. Make sure you guys are putting enough money aside that you can pay your taxes.
I cover that in the Tuesday video as well.
There you go. Because if you suddenly blow up and you're making $100,000, Uncle Sam's taking about 35% of that.
Yep.
Just be aware. 35 to 40%.
I mean, Uncle Sam if you're in the U.S.
Uncle Sam if you're in the U.S.
We don't know about
surrounding territories in the UK. You guys actually have it pretty nice. You don't pay quite a bit until you hit a certain portion. It's not like that here. You pay like 25 to 30% no matter how much you make.
You unhighlighted.
I unhighlighted the freaking question. No, it's further down. It's further down than this. Can you use Bitly? Yeah, it's further down.
Okay.
I lost it. Oh my god.
There you go.
Christmas. Be sure to like the video. See, I'm not obsessed. Christmas listings. Haha.
There we go.
Somewhere around here.
Jane.
Do shoppers generally just view mixed search results and choose to buy that way compared to visiting an individual shop? I want to A/B test, but worry about duplicate listings being off-putting. They likely aren't. You might have a couple people that are like, what's the difference between these two? I can't tell, and then they just won't care.
If you don't go in your own shop and make 600 of the same things, making, 2 of the same item, not a big deal. But to answer your question, do shoppers generally just view mixed search results or go directly to your shop? You tell me how much.
50-50.
How much traffic is on Etsy as a whole? People searching for the keyword terms related to what you're selling. You can go to eRank and check that. If you're in a relatively decent niche, it's probably in the thousands versus people who are actually visiting your shop. Probably not in the thousands unless you have a successful shop. So you can answer that question yourself by looking at the data. It's mostly people who are finding you organically in a search page.
The shopper, I just read that. eRank says I've sold more than 93%. Is my competition now much more steep than 80%? I mean, your competition isn't technically any more steep.
Right, saying that you've sold 93.4% more than any other Etsy sellers is including people not within your niche, which aren't your competitors.
It's exponential, right? Growth is exponential. So if you've sold more than 80% and you're here, and then you've sold more than 90%, now you're here, the curve gets steeper and steeper. So for you to get higher than 80%, it's going to take more than it's going to. I hope that makes any sense at all. Either way, it's not really a metric that matters. If you're making sales, you're making sales, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Because once you hit 1%, then there's not a metric to beat, and then you're just lost at what you should be comparing yourself to. So should I run a sale while I'm still uploading new products, or wait until I haven't finished, or have it finished? I'm assuming they meant to say.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There's no benefit to either. That's a do what you want question.
I've seen your videos on Pinterest. Which program do you like to pin there?
What
program do you use to post to Pinterest?
Later. I personally use Later, but you can schedule direct through Pinterest if you don't have a bunch of social media platforms that you're pinning to. Tailwind is an option. I cover all that in the Pinterest video that you just mentioned. Yeah, Later is what I use. Tailwind is an option. You can schedule direct through Pinterest. Most social media scheduling platforms have Pinterest on them. That's an option.
Do you guys have any tips for planning shop work around having really inconsistent energy from day to day due to ADHD, etc.?
Yeah, actually, I've got a video. It's not ADHD specific, it's anxiety, but most of the tactics that I teach are going to be universally applied to most who have conditions that limit productivity.
Yes.
So I would go back on my channel and watch my video titled "Running a Business with Anxiety." Yes. It's got me like holding a rainbow in my hands.
And if you have true ADHD, not just we have so many people say they have ADHD, but they've never actually seen a doctor about it or a psychiatrist. If you have true ADHD, you're the only person that understands how to handle when you're having a bad day. So usually whatever you would do if you go to school or you have something at work that takes a particular amount of concentration, that's going to reflect the same way into running an Etsy shop. But definitely go check her video out because she does have strategies that help with that. But if you do have medically diagnosed conditions that limit, make sure that you're treating them the way that your medical professional tells you to treat them. I'm hearing I'm going to need multiple shops fronts other than Etsy.
Well,
Not necessarily.
it's good to not have all your eggs in one basket. Don't focus on that yet. Focus on do one thing.
Yep.
Once you're comfortable with that one thing, you add another thing. Right now, I've got, God, I don't even know how many revenue streams I have now. There are so many. And I didn't do all those all at once. I sprinkle them in once I've adapted to the previous one that I added into my arsenal.
Especially if you're new to selling, you don't know what you're good at yet.
Yeah.
You don't are you good at marketing? Are you good at social media? Are you good at running an Etsy shop? Are you good at running your own website? Do you know SEO to be able to run your own website? Like, you don't, especially if you're new, you don't know what you can do. So pace yourself one thing at a time. If something isn't immediately successful, you kind of got to give it a couple of years. It sucks to do that because obviously you have to have income, but so does everyone else. Everyone starts out, for the most part, other than the few people that start out with income already. You start out with a clean slate and everybody has the same competition that you do. So don't ever be mad at anybody.
Absolutely. And you know what? We constantly are creating free resources. I have more free resources than I have paid ones. I've got my one paid program that you guys can get in June.
Yeah.
Other than that, well, in the boot camp, if you want to count that. But I mostly produce free stuff for you guys. There's so much, and a lot of it is going to help more than some of the paid crap that's out there, just because the coaching industry is very saturated.
Yeah,
and I'm sure
that was kind of the point that I was going to go on to. Speaking of competition, I mean, you got to consider that we've been moving up in this particular industry for a long time. As far as like mainline competitors, we've got like 5 competitors. So imagine how intense it gets once you get to a point where like you are in the 1% of your industry. You are competing with people that are making the same amount of income with you. We have legit, like, there are probably hundreds of people teaching how to sell on Etsy, but people that are at the tier that we're at, there's like 5.
Yeah.
There's like 5 people that we have to compete with. So all eyes are on everyone at all times, but fortunately it's not a toxic industry like most others. So there's no bad blood anywhere.
But that comes with every industry, no matter what it is. So whether you're selling, t-shirts or books or whatever it may be, aim for the top, but know that it gets exponentially harder the closer to the top you get.
Yeah. But don't think that you have to move along in order to get to the top. That's not how that works either.
Yes.
I have a listing that's gotten 10 sales and it's a sweatshirt. But now I've noticed that I didn't say sweatshirt in the title. Should I fix that or leave it alone?
I would leave it.
I would leave it alone. Maybe have it in the description. And if you look at it in the image, you should be able to tell that it's a sweatshirt.
Did you already fill it out in your attributes? Where the drop down menus, those count like extra tabs.
Yeah.
So even if it's not in your title, it might I wouldn't touch it. Don't touch listings that are performing well. Don't touch the tags and titles. Thumbnails are fine. You can touch thumbnails. Tags, titles, don't touch those if the listing is doing well. I would just let it go. Just let it go.
No, if it's like 10 sales over the last 15 years that you've had it listed, that's a little different.
Yeah. If it's just like selling, then let it go until it stops selling, and then maybe
let it go. Let it go.
Don't do that. We got demonetized.
This video is not monetized anymore.
I was gonna say it is. It was.
It was. It's not anymore.
Thanks.
Nah, we already answered. Oh, she posted that question 3 times. Okay. Got it. Which do you think is better, putting out collections or putting things out as you finish them? That is entirely up to you. Doesn't matter either way.
Collections are more marketable. Adding items as you make them is, better if you don't plan to do any marketing for your business. It doesn't really matter.
Have you heard anything more about Google Analytics? I got an email from them about updating my GA because
I just talked about that.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I just covered everything about Google Analytics. Yes, Universal Analytics is going away on July 1st, and Etsy has not integrated with Google Analytics 4. So
which probably means they're having trouble integrating it.
So it doesn't matter. No matter. Yes, you guys are going to be getting emails from Google Analytics saying
they're going to bug you.
They're saying update to Google Analytics 4. The moment you do that, you're going to stop getting data though, because Etsy has not integrated with Google Analytics 4. So you need to bug Etsy and say, hey, we want Google Analytics 4, because you're going to stop getting your data from Google Analytics in July.
Is there a way on eRank to find when shoppers are most active in the day? My ad budget runs out midday. I wonder if I need a bigger budget to excuse me, to catch night shoppers.
No, unfortunately, we don't have that kind of data, and I don't think anybody does, which sucks. It would be cool data to see. Sometimes you can kind of see it on your social media accounts to just see when your demographic is online.
Can I sell birthday decorations that are not handmade? I want to put theme package together to sell my kids' birthday shirts. No.
No, you cannot. Etsy is for supplies for making crafts. If they were craft supplies, it would be different. But no, you cannot just put
They're
things.
still presuming that you are making the craft supplies, not buying them from
Well,
Joann's and reselling
tools
them.
and things you can sell. But no, you can't just put things together into a bundle and sell it. It's not legal on Etsy and your shop will get shut down.
Is this right? I've heard that if you have at least one thing with free shipping, then you'll get the perk of offering free shipping in your shop. That's sketchy, though.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's true for the overall shop, and you wouldn't want that anyway. If somebody comes to your shop expecting free shipping, if they do care about that, and then they see that none of your items have free shipping, then they're just going to get mad at you.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but that doesn't sound correct to me. So I can't tell you 100%, but sounds fishy.
After researching targets and niches, I want to add POD items to my existing shop. Will that be too weird to transition? How do I make it cohesive?
I don't think it would be too weird. It's making it cohesive is how you present the item. So just make sure that your thumbnail photos are consistent and that you're remaining topically consistent with your target audience. But I don't think it would be too weird.
Is there a way where we can find out if the trends on Etsy have really been popular?
E-rank. Type those keywords into E-rank. You can see how many people are searching them.
Yep.
A lot of the Etsy trends I noticed this year were 70s oriented, and a lot of them seem to be things that are going to be more popular as we hit warmer weather, because some of them were very much like, oriented around like springtime. So,
done a giveaway with my small following, and it's super awkward because they get an entry for how many shares. And there was like one person who shared 10 times and a couple times for others. When I did the random picker, her name was the only name that came up 90% of the time.
hey, that's happened to me.
You can also just limit it to entries, limit the amount of entries that they can do.
Yeah, that's happened to me before. I mean, if she's the only one entering, then congratulations, you won.
Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won.
Pop up, flashing lights, little balloons flying all over.
You're only getting that on really naughty websites, so we know you. We know what you're doing.
Remember in the
In the 90s, it was different.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, it would take over your whole screen, blinking lights.
I have 205 sales selling greeting cards. I want to go into the wedding category. Should I open another shop for proposal boxes and etc.?
That's totally up to you.
Totally up to you.
Again, I mean, the industries are a little different. Greeting cards are a little bit different than wedding proposal boxes. But it's totally up to you. I would, if I were you, I would.
Any tips on creating content to engage customers on social media?
Yes, down below. 30-day Instagram challenge kit. That can be applied to most social media platforms, actually, but that is a 30-day challenge to help you grow your audience, get more engagement, get more visibility based on Instagram's algorithm. And a lot of that content can be applied to other platforms as well. So grab that. It's free and it's awesome.
I had a POD that sold during Christmas. It was the most sold item. This year, will it do even better since the listing will be over a year old?
The time of the listing doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
The fact
the
that
performance over that time is what matters.
Yeah. So there's no way to tell based on what we know about Etsy's algorithm, as long as it's the same listing and you haven't like made a copy of it, and because the listing quality won't transfer over, then yes, it should in theory do well, but that doesn't mean that as many people will be shopping for that type of item. For example, it doesn't matter if you had the very best performing mask sold on Etsy in 2020. Nobody's really searching for masks as much now, so it doesn't matter if it did well. So just as long as the keywords aren't related to a trend that isn't going to be in style, for Christmas time this year, then in theory it should maintain its listing quality.
Can a business have 4 brand colors, or is that too confusing?
No, there's plenty of
brands.
brands.
Be fine as long as they're cohesive, right?
Yeah, four. I mean, there's brands that have 4. 3 is the standard. 2 is also fine, but McDonald's is 3. Red, yellow, and white.
You seem to know more about Printify than their rep. You'd be surprised how often that happens.
Which rep?
Which rep did you talk to? I just had to put an internet rep in his place the other day that wouldn't leave. I'm starting a small candle business. Do you have any advice on the quantity of items I should make prior to listing? Totally up to you.
Nope. There's no magical number. Make as many as you would like to list. I know that you guys hate when I give vague answers, but there are so many people who jump on YouTube and say the secret number of listings is 10, and there's no data to support what they're saying. If you guys ask me for data to support anything I'm saying, I can provide you with a source, or I can tell you that, what you've heard is bunk and that there isn't a source. So
I have a Redbubble account. Can I somehow list my Redbubble creations in Etsy to sell?
nope. Redbubble is not a print-on-demand service.
Well,
They
you
are their
can't.
own.
Yeah, you can't cross-list them. But if you made the designs to put on Redbubble, you could link and
Do them through Printful or
do
Printify.
do them through a different print service
Yeah.
on Etsy. Yeah, that's fine as long as you're not copyright. I know a lot of people do Redbubble because they don't really enforce copyright.
But you can't connect a Redbubble to an Etsy.
I had an original piece of art that was an Etsy pick. Can I use that info in my note card and prints on the same image listings? I mean, if you got screenshots of it, why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't think that there would be anything wrong with it because it's factual.
Has anyone in here used it? So I'm so tiny that I'd have to save up for a bit. Oh, we have so many HA students. We have so many. Tons of people saying that they're worth it. Yeah, there's so many. And we have people that all the way from startups to like 6-figure sellers that were able to more than double their income.
Go onto my channel, click playlists, and there's a huge playlist of interviews from our students. Yep. We have over 1,000 students. We've been doing this for 5 years. Go through that playlist and you can find people and we've even got a girl who does bunny poo manure. We've got candle sellers. We've got sellers who do dog products. We've got everything. Feel free to go check out that playlist though if you want to get, different perspectives.
What are the best social media platforms for promoting your Etsy shop? There isn't a best one.
Whatever platform your target audience is spending time on.
And honestly, whichever one you're the most familiar with that you think that you jive the most with. At the moment, I like Instagram. I think Instagram's a good way. Yep. If you're super personable or super hot, TikTok.
Really?
I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to discriminate, but let's be real. We're adults here. If you're super attractive, then TikTok's probably for you. That's just how it is.
That is true. Because this is data. This is data crunching. Okay. Talking on the data crunching level, we get shouted out by TikTokers all the time over at E-Rank.
Yep.
And we had one supermodel shout out shout out E-Rank, and it like flooded E-Rank with
blew up our channel. It was so big of a blow up on E-Rank that the trickle over from being associated with E-Rank blew up our YouTube videos by like a magnitude of like 1,000%.
Yeah.
So if you're good at a platform, use that platform. And if you know that a platform is for you based on certain circumstances, then do that platform. If you're good with video, honestly, Instagram or YouTube. I don't think YouTube's as good of a resource for most people unless you're like
providing value.
Yeah, you got to provide value on the platform that you're doing it on. But if you're doing something that is very hands-on, if you're painting something, if you're wood crafting, metalwork, something like even digital art, time lapses are great on any platform that allows video.
And that's great because if you're not comfortable in front of a camera, you don't even have to be on camera to have TikTok accounts go viral.
And I don't want people to confuse me thinking that you can only be successful on TikTok if you're like a supermodel. That's not the case. If you are, it's a bonus.
It is a bonus.
It's a bonus.
You have to.
It's like when you're eating a tub of ice cream that's already really good, and you get to the bottom of it, and it's just like a solid thing of peanut butter and chocolate that you get to mac on. It's that.
Yeah.
Right. It's all you can already be good if you're good at making content. If you're not good at making video content, TikTok's probably not going to be good for you, but you won't know until you try.
Yeah.
So I have a shop for 3 months with over 300 digital items. I ran ads and sold over 1,000 already, but made no profit so far, but also no loss. What can I expect that I can get more organic traffic?
Well, 3 months isn't a long time. 300 digital items does not. Okay. You've been open for 3 months, 300 digital items. You sold 1,000 of your products, but did not make a profit.
sounds like your prices are too low, boss.
Yeah, your prices are too low. You need to up your prices.
And don't just hold a sale in order to make sales.
You should not. You should be profiting. Every sale should be a profit. If you're not making,
even if you are having a sale, unless you're like you're digital, so this doesn't apply to you. But if you're a physical seller that's just trying to move some inventory and you don't mind taking a loss just to get it out of your house, that's the only exception to that. But even with a sale, you should be making a small profit.
Up your prices. Don't price at the bottom of your industry. Look at who your biggest competitors are, who charge the very most for what they're selling, and price yourself right beside them. This is not a platform meant for competitive pricing. It is a platform to compete in quality. Price at the top 10% of your industry. Otherwise, you're just going to be on a race to the bottom. 1,000 sales and no profit is bad. That's bad news bears.
How do you really break through from friends to strangers on Etsy? So far, all my sales are returns, friends of friends. Excuse me. But I can't seem to get any stranger sales.
Marketing and SEO. That's the 2 traffic drivers for Etsy. You can do good SEO, keyword optimization, getting people who are already shopping on Etsy into your store. External marketing. That's social media. You're telling people on social media to go to your store. Social media, you also have to learn how that platform works and learn how to grow it, which is why I keep talking about that Instagram challenge kit. That's going to help you do that. Instagram, I feel, is the easiest to break into and actually see results from quickly because it's not as saturated in its it's saturated, but it's easy to grow. The algorithm is a lot more giving to people who are brand new. So that's it though. Really, it's a long game.
We had another comment. You came across more of an expert than the POD person from the company on your video. They meant the video around the holidays. Don't confuse knowing more about the company than them. We're just better on camera.
That's true.
That's just how it is. If someone can speak better on camera, you see it a lot in politics. The person that's better at speaking on camera will beat out the Harvard grad that is super awkward any day.
You guys ever see Elon Musk on camera? He's awful. He stumbles all over himself.
Regardless of your opinions of Elon.
Right. but still, have you ever watched an interview with him? He's terrible.
He's a lot better now.
Right.
His don't GAF-itude has really peaked up. But that's all we have time for. I really hate cutting off questions because I feel like we have more questions left to answer than questions we actually answered. But that's the unfortunate thing about a channel that's growing this big. There's over 300 of you, and we have to stop at some point. So we love you guys. I appreciate it. Again, if you didn't have your questions answered, make sure that you subscribe.
I'm not asking. Just keep going.
Make sure that you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, click the little bell icon if you have the YouTube app and you want to get notified when we go live. And
every Friday, we're here. Thursdays, you guys can head over to the eRank channel. Just search eRank. It'll be the little eRank logo.
Yes.
Me and Pam Duthie, we stream at 3 p.m. Eastern. Here we stream every Friday at noon Eastern. There are so many free things down below for you guys. We've got the 30-day Instagram challenge kit. That's free. We have my Science of Etsy Success workshop for all of you who have been asking these SEO questions. That will tell you exactly how Etsy's algorithm works as far as the general public is allowed to know, because obviously, there's things that Etsy has to keep secret so people don't game the system. But everything that we know about Etsy's algorithm, the 7 factors that we know about that contribute to your search ranking or how your listings get categorized in search and seen by shoppers, that's in there. I've also got my SSAR swipe files. That is a 5-star customer service strategy that is going to help you get more 5-star reviews. More 5-star reviews means that you get ranked higher in search because it grows your listing quality score faster. And that helps Etsy to recommend you to more people because they see you as a more trustworthy shop. So those are down there. The 2023 marketing calendars are down there. That gives you my full suggestions on when you should launch new products for specific seasons, holidays you should be aware of, when you should start thinking about Christmas and getting Christmas products listed. Those are free. All of that's free.
All of our stuff. Any applicable links should be down below.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Somebody asked if we're doing Valheim tonight. If we stream tonight, I'm not making any promises because I'm actually kind of lagging hard today. If we stream tonight, it'll probably be a continuation of Dead Space from last week, but I'm not making any promises because I don't know. I have to drive all day tomorrow.
Yeah, our little
So-
girl's birthday is coming
Yeah,
next
so
week.
we're doing a trip tomorrow. So I don't know. If not, I'll probably do 2 streams next week to make up for it. But
Yeah, so we might be over on his Twitch channel at Professor Prosciutto.
if you wanna know for sure, did you link the Discord?
I don't know if it's the right link.
Okay. Well, if you're in the Discord, you'll find out. If not, then go to a past Friday Bean live stream, and there should be a link to the Discord.
I mean,
down
it's in there. I just don't know if it's the current one, as long as it's updated.
there. Yeah. If not, ask in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community and tag me in there, and I'll get you the link.
All right, guys.
But we love you guys, and we will see you on Tuesday. We got to do our wave, darling.
Our wave.
We got to wave out because the live stream ends like 30 seconds. Like is what it is.